All right, Andrew. So, a lot to discuss today. So, obviously, the big topic of the day is Matthew Stafford. He's, put up monster numbers like he used to back when we had Scott and running plays. So, Darrell Bevell seems to have rejuvenated Stafford's career because people were talking about, hey, we should trade Stafford, see what value we could get for him. He shouldn't be paid like the highest paid player in the league and all that kind of nonsense talk. We all know quarterbacks all get paid that high. It's just whoever's time is up. But anyway, so he got hurt back last year against who was it?
It's hard to tell because he was playing through the injuries.
Okay, yeah. So middle of last year he got hurt with a back injury, and he had broken bones in his back, and then they showed the comparison of like last season stats of before the injury and after the injury, and it was obviously substantial. His completion percentage and interception to TD ratio, all that took a dip. So coming into the season, we thought he was all healthy. Ended up not the case. He's been nursing and rehabbing this injury, and it's been aggravating him a little bit, and he's been playing through it. And I guess against the Oakland Raiders a couple of weeks ago, he really hurt it. And again, re-aggravated it. And now, he missed a game, breaking his consecutive game streak, which was, he was second in the league for active streaks behind Phillip Rivers, and that was a really big deal to him and a big deal to the team because he's that Iron Man. He comes to play no matter what kind of injury he has. So Let me just table this question. So the question has been raised of now that the Lions are pretty much out of the playoff picture, even though they're statistically not out. They're pretty much out of it because they're now the bottom of the division, and we're, definitely on the way outside looking in. We'd have to win out. We'd have to run the table against the whole entire season. And it's very, very unlikely, especially with a hurt staff and defense playing as poorly as it has. So the question has been raised. Should we just bench Matthew, not bench him, put him on IR, rest him for the rest of the season, let him go into the offseason, rest him as much as we can so that next season we can hit the ground running and build off of the things that we saw that we need improvement on and just build off of what we did this season and just start over. So the poll Bleacher Report from Detroit asking the questions to the fans, whether Matthew Stafford should be put on IR. And there was like about 1,000 or 1,500 people that voted, and 55% of them, I actually have it right here, 55% of them said, yes, we should put him on IR, and 45% of them said, no, we should not put him on IR. So, Andrew, what do you think?
Dude, so I have a hard time with this question. So, I personally think he should go to IR. It sucks, but, let's say something happens, he plays next week, takes a hard hit, his career could potentially be over. You have a back injury. That stuff lingers around, and you saw what happened to Tony Romo. Couple too many hits, kept rushing back, ended his career. So it's like, do you really want to risk that with your star quarterback? And let's say he does play, we do win out, we could still not even make the playoffs. So it's like, crap. That's not even worth it at that point. I would rather rest him, see what happens next year. I'm pretty sure Stafford has one more year in his contract, and then it's up. It's hard. I want to see Stafford play every single week. He's a freaking terrific quarterback. I'd love to watch him, but it would be stupid to want him to play when that, like you said, statistically we're not out, but we have to win out, and we need everyone to lose. So it's we have less than 1% chance of winning. So I would prefer him just going to IR.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that we should definitely put him on IR because exactly like what you said, you do not want to risk it with your star quarterback. And at this, you're doing it for stat, and I don't agree with that. We're doing. I mean, well, it's not just stats, right? Because people's jobs are on the line. There's coordinators' jobs are on the line, and there's other players' jobs that are on the line that, maybe, it could be anybody that, and the lines aren't forming, it reflects on that whole team, so, and nobody can just be like, oh, well, Stafford was out, so that's why I played bad, and that's why the team sucked. So, other players' jobs are on the line, so it sucks in that regard. But for the most part, if you put him in, you're doing it for just cosmetics. You're doing it for stats and for nothing else. Like, I don't, there's a reason. See, that's the thing. He's the fastest to 40,000 yards. And a big part of that is because he doesn't miss games. When you're taking him out for half a season, because, yeah, like, he's probably not going to be the fastest to reach 45,000 yards or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because he's going to miss a whole season. Like, that's not worth it to me. And it's not worth it. It shouldn't be worth it to Stafford either. So I also agree with, I just completely agree with you. I would not play him. And I'm not saying to tank, try and whatever, but like, the season's done. So what are you doing it for? If we were deep in the playoff race, yeah, I'd be all about it. Like, get him in there as soon as he can play. But we're not. And we've seen other players like Tony Romo and even Peyton Manning. That was a neck injury, but that's similar. Mess with the neck in the back. 1 year he's looking like the MVP of the league. The next year he can't throw more than 10 yards accurately.
Mm-hmm.
So, and honestly, like, it makes sense that he has had this limping back injury, because even put up these stats and has looked like an MVP this season. When you're actually watching the games, there are throws that he has made and missed that you're looking at that like Matthew Stafford that doesn't miss a throw ever. You know what I mean? Like 10 times out of 10, he makes that throw, and he's missing a few of those throws. So I honestly, it makes sense that he has a back injury, and it answers some questions that I've had about him. So rest him. He's the man. He is so lucky to have him. We went off on a whole segment last week on how we are the luckiest fans to have this guy, and that a guy that wants to stay in Detroit, and a guy that's this great for our team. So I'm with you.
Yeah. So this raises a question though. A couple of years back, we're on a playoff run. I think we're like 9-4. We have 3 games left. Stafford hurts his hand, his fingers, can't throw the ball. We lose. I'm pretty sure we lost the last 3 games this season, and like we missed out on the playoffs. Last season, Stafford hurts his back, can't really throw the ball. This season, Stafford hurts his back. It's slowly starting to look like a trend, So it's like, I love Stafford. He plays phenomenal when he's healthy. When he has his O-line protect him, his wide receivers aren't dropping the ball. So it's like, where do we go from here, though? So like Stafford has 1 more season left on his contract. What do? Do you extend him? Do you not extend him? Do you go with the young rookie quarterback like a lot of other teams are doing? Do you trade for a quarterback? Do you bring in someone like Colin Kaepernick or maybe Cam Newton, even though he's hurt all the time? Like, what do you think we should do from here? So it's like,
well, I don't know. I think Stafford has longer than 1 year
on his contract.
I'm looking it up right now.
I can't remember if it's 1 or 2, but I could have swore it was 1 more year.
I think he has more than 1 year, but I believe there's an out after 2020. So there's an out for the team. Like they can leave. Yeah, they can cut him with minimal dead money. So, okay. So we have him through the 2022 season.
2022.
So we have this year and then 3 more years on his thing. But after the 2020, we cut him in 2020. Let's say we cut him after this year. We're gonna have $26 million in dead money. That's huge. If we cut him after the 2020 season, we'll only have $10 million in dead money. And if we cut him after the 2021 season and we just cut him with 1 year left on his deal, we have no dead money. So that's like the real out. After 2021, we can cut him scot-free if we wanted to. We can't really do anything until after 2020, because if we cut him before 2020 and we have $26 million in dead money, what are we gonna do? Like, come on,
that'd be
like,
stupid.
Yeah.
I guess my question is like, what do you think from a management perspective you do in this situation? Your quarterback has gotten hurt the last 3 years. There's significant injuries, and it's happened in back-to-back seasons. And it's not like our defense is playing phenomenal. It's not like we have a run game. So we don't have all the pieces. So it's not just like, oh, once Stafford's healthy, we're a top tier team. So like, what do you do from here? Do you keep Stafford? Do you keep trying to build around him, or do you try and ship him out and get value for him? Like, what would you do?
Yeah, that's a big question. And if I'm the GM and I'm looking at my job, I'm not getting rid of Stafford because, like, to me, if we get rid of Stafford, you are in complete rebuild mode. And not only that, the fans are honestly now, like, it's been a debate for years. The fans were like half like, no, I don't like Stafford. Half of them are like, no, I love Stafford. Now it seems like they've kind of converged into like, we respect this man. Like, we love Stafford and we respect him, and he's our quarterback. I'm sure there's still some haters in the Detroit fan base, but like, for the most part, I feel like we've all kind of come together now, and we respect Stafford, especially after his wife went through that, what she went through this offseason and stuff. But so, like, if I'm gonna save my job, I'm not getting Stafford. I'm seeing how it plays out, and I don't get rid of Stafford until he loses his job. Literally, like, he cannot perform anymore. And honestly, from like a business standpoint, that's what I do regardless. You can make the argument. You can make a pretty solid argument that, yeah, you should trade him now because after this MVP type season, a team's gonna really want to, take him off your hands and whatever. But I don't see that argument holding that much weight because, like, he had that back injury last year and he came into this season rolling. You know what I mean? Yeah, he made some bad throws and he was working through that back injury, but he was rolling. So to me, he's shown no signs of slowing down. And if you trade him away, you're going to lose the fans. You're going to lose the players. You're going to have to rebuild everything. And like, man, I don't know. Just like throw the rest of the team at that point. Then just sell everyone and get as many picks as possible. And I don't think the Lions are at that point yet.
You get a quarterback that can actually throw the ball as well as he can, and like, he is a leader. But I'm going to play devil's advocate. So You think of the Colts, right? They got rid of Peyton Manning. They chose to get rid of Peyton Manning. They were the worst freaking team I've like almost ever seen in my life. Top 5 worst teams I've ever seen in my life for the next year. And then after that, they have not been bad. They've made the playoffs almost every season. Even with Andrew Luck being gone, they still have a winning record, even though, Jacoby just went down. And they have so much cap space to bring in players that it's like absurd. Like, they literally have more cap space than like 10 teams combined. So like, let's say, you know what I'm saying? So like, let's say we do get rid of Stafford and we try and do something like the Colts did. Like, you bring in as much talent as possible. I mean, they didn't do that, but they drafted well. You could also use a cap space because, you don't have a quarterback. And then you try and plug in a young quarterback. Or you get a veteran out there for cheap that's smart, like a Case Keenum in the Viking system, something like that. I don't know. It's very interesting to think about because it's happened. It's been successful. But would the Lions be able to do that? I don't know.
Right. That's the big question. That's the big question.
Because our draft picks. We're not going to go out and draft like Quentin Nelson. Who is there?
No.
Oh, Darius Leonard, like all these guys, so it's like, it's so hard for me. And I just heard something on the radio. 97 won the ticket. Gotta love those Michigan guys. Dude, so we're paying like Trey Flowers like $17 million this year, right? And he's one player, and yeah, he's playing really well right now. But you take $20 million and you have the entire San Francisco 49ers defensive line. And they're literally like top 3 defense this year. And I think they're still undefeated, or did they lose to Seattle?
Well, that's not fair, dude. That's not fair to say. But because they drafted Nick Bosa, and he's a big part of that. So like he's on a really cheap rookie deal. And maybe the Lions would be in that situation if they would have done that and gotten a pass rusher with their 8th pick instead of getting a freaking tight end.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. That's what I'm saying, though.
Decision.
Is like, you have to draft the positions that win you games. You know, I get it. We've drafted O-linemen like 3 of the last like 5 picks in the first round. So it's like, cool. You know, you need O-line. Taylor Decker, he's been playing well the last couple weeks. Overall, really crappy. Graham Glasgow, he's been all right. Frank Ragnow, I like Frank a lot. But like, dude, you can go get O-linemen in free agency. Can you go get a top DN in free agency? No, not that often. So why the hell are you not drafting DNs and just freak ass athletes in the first round? You're drafting tight ends. You're drafting linemen. Dude, you can go get those type of players in free agency. So it's like, yeah, I get it. Nick Bosa, whatever. You know, he was a top 2 pick. But like, they have first round draft picks across the board on their defense, you know? And it's like, now look how damn good they are. And all they did from like a free agent standpoint really was plug in a quarterback. They didn't really do much. I mean, They traded for Daniel Sanders, but like they already were like 8-0 before, or 7-0 before they got him. They got Richard Sherman after he was done with Seattle. The dude was already in the league for like 8 years, you know, so he's not even that expensive, and he's playing well. And then you have so I don't know. I think if they were to get rid of Stafford, there's so many things they could do. It just, are they able to execute on them? You know, and I love Stafford. I'm one of Stafford's biggest fans, but I just think it would be interesting because there's a lot of other teams that, they sucked for a year or two, but they bounced back big time, and they're like the top teams in the freaking league. So I don't know.
Yeah, I see. Like, it's just hard. It's hard when you're comparing these teams that are successful doing it to the Lions because, I agree with you. I don't know if the Lions will be able to do it. And like, look, man, the Colts. Everybody wants to be in the Colts situation right now. They literally let Andrew Luck go. And they're like, we'll pay your money. We have so much money. We don't need to worry about it. Dude, like, everybody wants to be in that situation. Like, it's not even fair. Yeah. And then not, like, their O-line, they have invested a lot of draft capital in their O-line, but they're like, hitting on them. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not opposed. I'm all about drafting for both lines. I'm not just thinking that, in my opinion, like, I think we were doing the right things. It just hasn't worked out so far. Like we drafted a lot in our O-line, and then we picked up Snacks for our D-line, and we picked up Trey Flowers for our D-line, Romeo Okawara for our D-line, Devin Kennard. So, we went about it a different way, and it hasn't really paid off. Like, it did. If our line played up to the capital that we invested in them, then, we'd have a run game, and we'd be able to protect Stafford and all these things, So, it's just hard. Like, it's situation by situation. It's not as easy as saying, follow the template that the 49ers did, because I just don't know if that's going to work. But dude, I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course I'd love to do what the Rams did as well. You know what I mean? Just pay everybody you can, and have a rookie quarterback and rookie running back and whatever. But look at them now. They made it to the Super Bowl. They didn't end up winning it, and now they're going to be in cap hell for foreseeable future because now they stupidly paid Todd Gurley early, like a year or 2 years or 3 years before his rookie deal was up. They extended him, and then look at him. He's hurt, and they're having him split his mouth around and whatever. It's a dumb move. And then they got what's his name? The guy from the Patriots, the receiver, Brandon Cooks.
Oh yeah,
dude, they paid him a lot of money. He hasn't been doing that much. You know what I mean? They paid to keep sleep. They ship out a draft pick to dump off his contract. You know what I mean? They paid Ndamukong Suh $10 million. It didn't really pay off because they didn't win the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl, great, but you didn't get it. So hey. The day in 10 years, who's gonna remember that you guys went to the Super Bowl? Nobody, So whatever.
I remember the winners.
Yeah, really, that's the truth, man. And dude. And then also,
I just wanted to pose the question because it's dude, when it comes to quarterback, everyone knows if you don't have an elite quarterback, typically you're losing games, unless you have a crazy good defense or a phenomenal run game. So I guess it's just interesting because we do have talent on our team. I think Bevel is doing a good job. Exactly. It only takes one thing to go wrong. So I don't know. I don't know, dude. I just think it would be interesting to see what happens with life after Stafford. But I would prefer Stafford to be in it and them build around him. But like at this rate, with his injuries and them not being able to protect him or build a fucking team after 10 years. I mean, the dude's been in the league for 10 years. You can't build a team around him. Like, it's concerning, So I guess that I just wanted to see what you thought because it's going to be a reality upcoming, So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a scary reality. And like I just said, the Bears, like that's an example of a team that they tried to do it and it just didn't work. And look at them. Like now they're dying for a competent quarterback. Die to have Matt Stafford on the team right now. You know what I mean? Like they would gladly give up some of their depth or like some of their cap space to get somebody like Matthew Stafford in that building. They'd be Super Bowl contenders right now. So like, dude, yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard. Right now, like the key of our team, literally the gem of our team is Stafford. So like the idea of giving that gem away for the hope that we can do what some of these other teams have done successfully is a bad idea in my opinion. Let's try and build around that gem, like we have been trying to do for years and years and years, but like just man, like it seemed like this year was the year that we were gonna do something, and it's so disappointing that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's transition this into a quick topic. So a lot of teams have been, it's rumored, I don't know if it's, maybe you know a little more about this, but there's been like a rumor that there's a private workout going on with Colin Kaepernick with multiple teams out in the league. How would you feel if the Lions went out and grabbed Colin Kaepernick and put him on his team and just put Stafford on IR for the rest of the season?
So, as far as information I know about that, I heard there's 11 teams that are going to be attending. They're having it on a Saturday, which is kind of crap because all the teams are getting ready to go play the very next day. So they're not going to have their head coaches. They're not going to have higher up guys. Dude, I personally would love it. And I would only love it because from a fan perspective, I know our season's over. And I don't want Stafford to get hurt. Because what does that help us? We're not going to go to playoffs, and now he's fucked. So it's like there's no win-win. So for me to at least enjoy the Lions games, do I want to watch Jeff Driscoll or fucking Colin Kaepernick? At least it'll be exciting just because of the drama alone.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, dude, the dude can run. Like I don't care. He was not a great pocket passer, but the dude could freaking run. And like the league is changing. If you look at the top quarterbacks, yeah, you have Brady. You have like, Breeze and like those pocket passers, but you look at Mahomes, you look at freaking Lamar Jackson. I mean, the dude is the dude's a video game. It's ridiculous. You have Russell Wilson. You have Deshaun Watson. Like, dude, the quarterbacks are changing. It's slowly changing to like quarterbacks that can move. So like, Colin Kaepernick would be interesting. It would be an interesting thing to see what Bevel could come up with because he's a creative offensive mind, and we were a top offense with Stafford. So I don't know, it keeps things interesting. I mean, I don't want to see Stafford come back and get hurt any worse. Like, it's a back injury. You have broken bones in your freaking back, This stuff takes a long time to heal. Don't bring him back and rush him to sell tickets to save your job. Go do something else. Go freaking bring in a good quarterback. Why do we always have backups that nobody knows about? Like, the dude got cut from the Bengals. The Bengals.
Yeah.
Like, of all teams, the worst quarterback room, like, in the NFL, So I would love to see Colin Kaepernick. Or go trade for, like, RG3. Or go get Marcus Mariota or someone. Like, you can get so many, like, better.
Or Teddy Bridgewater or something, yeah.
Yes, exactly. You can get good quarterbacks that, like, would go for cheap, Like, they're not going to cost you anything. So why not go do that? You're going to keep things interesting. Like, the fans aren't going to be as mad because at least, like, we're not watching Jeff Driscoll. We'd be watching another quarterback that started in the league in, like, 1 game or some shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool.
100%. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was done. I just said it would be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you because, like, I'm 100% with you. But only if it's not that much money. If it's a ton of money, then forget it. You know what I mean? But because that was the big problem. Everybody was like, he's blackballed. But like, the 49ers offered him a contract, like big, significant contract, and he didn't accept back then. So if he's trying to get a real contract, no, thank you. You know what I mean? But if he's going to try to get, backup quarterback money, go grab him. That'd be awesome. Because look, man, or
at least a 1-year deal.
Detroit is known for having a chip on his shoulder, and if anybody has a chip on their shoulder, it's Colin Kaepernick. Like, he's going to want to come into this league and prove himself and shut everybody up and prove all the haters wrong and everything, and try and get a real contract and try and become a real starter in the NFL again. And, dude, that would be awesome if he did that for the Lions.
So here's my thing, though. Let's say we do bring in a quarterback. Let's say we bring in Colin Kaepernick, and he legit wins the rest of the freaking games. What do you do? Honestly, what do you do in that situation? Do you keep Stafford and just say, oh, shit, I know you've been hurt?
You're saying he wins the rest of the games we make to the playoffs?
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't know if we would make the playoffs, but I'm saying, let's say he literally wins, 6 games left? He wins the last 6 games of the season for us. That's 6 games in a row. When was the last time we won 6 games in a row? I can't even remember. But I'm saying, let's say that happens. Shit, what do you do? Honestly. You just got a quarterback that that won 6 fucking games for you in a row. Came out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you. That would be tough, man, especially if it is Colin Kaepernick. If it's somebody like Geno, not Geno Atkins, Geno Smith. If it's Geno Smith or somebody, honestly, here's the deal. It depends how they win, right? If we win because of the quarterback or something, then you got to make a decision at that point, and I wouldn't blame the GM Bob Quinn if he stuck with that guy and traded Stafford. I wouldn't. I would probably cry my eyes out. I would fault the GM for doing that. I can see where he's coming from, but if we win because our defense starts turning it on and we're holding people
mad.
to yeah, I'll be pissed.
I'll be fucking mad. Where was this?
Yeah, or our run game comes to life, you know what I mean? If everything else starts clicking and then we start winning games because of that, and it then I'm not about to deal. I guess also it depends on what kind of deal can you get from Stafford. So you're talking about cutting him and getting $20 million dead money, because then that's a whole nother twist into it. So there's a lot to think about in that kind of situation. So I don't know, man. That is a tough one.
But I mean, I would love to see Colin Kaepernick, or just bring in somebody. I mean, somebody that's going to be something better than Jeff Driscoll. At least keep the fans somewhat interested in the game, so that we're not just I was tempted to not even watch the game. I was the Bears suck. The Bears absolutely suck, but we have a backup quarterback coming in, and he didn't even throw. I mean, he threw the ball, but they're all short passes. It's
we had that one long Galladay touchdown. That was awesome. I honestly screamed when that happened. I was
hyped as shit. Yeah, I was hyped as shit, but also Galladay kind of pushed off and got separation.
Yeah, he did.
So if you take that away, Driscoll literally didn't do shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, fuck, bro. Go bring in Colin Kaepernick, who can run the ball. I just think with how the NFL is changing with the top quarterbacks, dude, you need someone that can make plays with his legs, or has to be very elite with his arm. And Stafford is very elite with his arm. So if you take that away, fuck, you need a quarterback that can make plays and keep the defense honest. Dude, Jalen Hurts.
What's Peyton Manning doing?
You said what?
What's Peyton Manning doing? Let's bring him out of retirement. I know he wants to come back. Come on.
If he wanted to coach, bro, I'd be fine with that.
He's the man.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know, dude. It begs the question of, where do we go from here? We're going to have a top 10 pick. Do you go quarterback? Honestly, do you go quarterback and get someone like fucking Jalen Hurts or Burrow or the kid Trevor Lawrence or Tua? I mean, Tua would probably go top 3. But
Trevor Lawrence isn't going next year.
Oh, he's going next year? Okay. But
pretty sure.
I thought so, but I'm just saying, we're going to have a top 10 pick. Do you go for a DN? Do you go for a middle linebacker? What the fuck do you go for? Do you go for the quarterback and playing for the future and let him sit under Stafford for like 2 years, a year or two? Like,
maybe. Well, probably. You know what's the best option? Do you know what I'm gonna say?
I have no idea. Trade with like the Bengals.
I didn't hear you, but the best option is tight end.
It's not even funny. It's funny, but it's like I'm fucking at you because I can see it happening. 8th overall pick. Yeah. I'll never get over how the Lions draft, and I don't know why I even like am shocked anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, man. All right, well, that's all we have for you guys today. Thanks for joining us or clicking on the video. Thank you for being a Lions fan and sticking with this franchise through the thick and thin. You know, seriously,
serious mental health issues.
Yeah, you do, just like us. If you're in week 11, 2019 season right now, and you're clicking on Lions videos on YouTube of guys talking about Lions videos and having Lions coverage, yeah, you are messed up. You have some messed up issues with you.
You're a true Lions fan, and we love you.
Yeah, we're on this together. All right. Yeah, you know the deal. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. You know, we're the real Detroit Lions fans. All right. See ya.